I love historicals and I love movies from, a bygone era and all that. So he, of course, is the protagonist of the film, but I'm the female protagonist of the film. In my family, everybody's from boarding school, and so the mentality there is that you need to have hobbies.
Hi Zoya.
Hi.
Welcome to Box Office India.
Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm great.
So, not much is known about your character, and we understand there's a lot of mystery surrounding it. You're not supposed to say a lot of things. But what we know is that you play a widow. Yeah. And the character, the premise, it belongs to a certain era. You are required to look a certain way, maybe walk and talk a certain way. What really was your reference point?
I'm a huge history buff. So the reference I had was, when each kind of generation or time period has a certain, pace of things and a certain body language, a certain way of speaking, and anything that is a historical or from another time, I find really attractive and interesting, because we don't get to do that much, And I guess it's also maybe a little, romanticized in my head. We always kind of, the grass is always greener on the other side. And I love historicals and I love movies from, a bygone era and all that. So it was really interesting for me. I've seen a lot of stuff from before. So that was basically the reference, for me. There was a certain poise, there was a certain... just way of moving, and I've anyway seen a lot of movies from then, but Navdeep also gave me a few movies to watch to just get into the mood and get the vibe and understand.
So the film is about a Naga sadhu, and not much is known about them. There's a whole lot of mystery surrounding them. Were you aware about who Naga sadhus are?
Yeah, I was actually.
Yeah.
They have a certain kind of module they live by. They have a certain code of conduct and a sense of brotherhood and togetherness, which was even more kind of, it existed even more so at that time, because, men went to war and women, did what they did in their homes, and everybody kind of occupied the roles they had to play in order to kind of survive and move forward, yet also live, So in this film, you do see a lot actually of the Naga sadhus, especially this particular Naga sadhu, which is Saif's character. Now, what happens with him and how he kind of fits into the whole thing will be revealed in the film.
Right. So from the surface, it's a Saif Ali Khan film, right? He plays the titular character. When you got the script, when you read it, what scope did you see for yourself?
So he, of course, is the protagonist of the film, but I'm the female protagonist of the film. So when I read the script, it read really fast. It was so interesting, and I really wanted to work with Navdeep, and I mean. It's the only big female part in the film, so there was so much scope, and to be in a historical, to be playing this really strong, bold character but with a lot of duality as well. She and that's the mystery of her character. Why she is the way she is, who she is. She appears to be this widow, but is she? And that's what we kind of. Even though there is a lot of mystery and all that the film is shrouded and all of that right now, when the film actually starts, the story just starts unfolding. So it's not like it's keeping you hanging right till the end. Right as it starts, you kind of just get to know, who's who, what they want, why they want it, and what they're willing to do to get it.
Tell me, how was it working with Saif Ali Khan? Because he's known to be one of the most intelligent actors, and he's a lot of fun on set.
He's so much fun. He's, I think anything that has to do with books or music, he's like an encyclopedia. He truly, I think, knows everything. And he's very open, He's not very guarded or very or he's not all about himself, and he's And obviously, once you're spending so much time together on a film set, especially a film set like this, which is mostly outdoor shoots, you do end up hanging out and just, chatting and having fun. And I think because I was the newest person in the cast, I only had things to learn from everybody. Yeah.
You have made rather unconventional choices as an actor. What really drives your choices?
I just like to tell stories, It honestly doesn't matter if, I don't know, I think it's a little foolish to take on a project based on how big is my part. Because sometimes it is big, sometimes it's not. What really matters is how it kind of fits into the larger scheme of things in the film. Is it a good film? Is it a good script? That's what's important, if you get along with your colleagues, with the director is so important. The dialogues, all of that stuff is so important. And this story is so interesting and different that, there was nothing else that needed to convince me.
Right. Zoya, you come from Delhi, right? Now you're in Bombay, you're an actor. Was acting always on the cards?
Yeah, since as long as I can remember, this is all I've done. My background is in theatre, but in my family, everybody's from boarding school. And so the mentality there is that you need to have hobbies, you need to learn how to play an instrument, you need to learn how to play a sport.
Can you play an instrument?
I play the flute actually. I used to play the metal flute. Really? I played a lot of sports, and was generally very outdoorsy. We were brought up like that. So everybody was kind of interested in lots of other things, but as I kind of figured out where my interests actually, lay, I ended up doing a lot more theatre than music and pursuing that. And, moving to Bombay just seemed like a natural progression of things. I didn't know where I would end up or how or what, but you've got to give it a shot, at least, So, yeah, that's what I did.
That's great. You're one of those, I think, few actors who like staying away from the limelight, right? You come, you work, and you go back. This is what we know about you. Is that by design? Do you consciously stay away from the other
No,
things?
Till Mukawas came out, I really lived under a rock, okay? I don't, and even I still don't have too much know-how about the industry or how to kind of navigate things. I'm doing the best I can, obviously. And I'm very grateful to have the opportunities that I've had. And I really appreciate the people that have chosen to work with me and the people that do work with me on my team, because I'm sure I don't make their job any easier being the way that I am. But now I'm like an extroverted introvert. Now what do I do?
It's a good mix.
Yeah.
A lot of actors say that it's very difficult for them to detach from the characters that they play. Though, it's very early on in your career. Do you find it difficult to leave a character behind?
It really depends. It really depends. I think for different characters, you're exercising different muscles. So for some, it's more external. For some, it's more internal. And I think it's, anyway, we're all a product of what our conditioning is, right? What we kind of experience, what we're exposed to, what we watch, what we hear. And you don't realize how it kind of becomes a part of your subconscious, and your behavior and your body language. We don't realize it. And I'm sure it happens to actors. It's happened with me. The most obvious thing is when you're doing a part which is very emotionally challenging and, the stakes are very high. So those obviously stay with you a little longer. It's a little more difficult to shake it off. But it's also really important to shake it off. Otherwise, you're going to have problems in life. So you have to be able to detach.
Right. Yeah. And lastly, you have your plates full. There's Hathi Mere Saathi. You're doing a film with Sanjay Leela Bhansali. Any update on that?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
What else is in the pipeline?
I'm doing a bunch of stuff. Fortunately, I've been really lucky that I've gotten really good work after Mukawas. I really thought I would be sitting at home for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, I really did, because it doesn't happen so fast, So again, I'm super grateful that I've been able to just keep working, And I think now it's just at that point where things are done and they're going to be releasing slowly. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
So you're happy now, in a good space of mind.
So far.
That's great.
Yeah.
On that note, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I wish you all the luck for Laal
Thank you.
Kaptaan and all your upcoming projects.
Thank you.